Greetings from the American Midwest, the major settlement area for Nordic immigrants, late 19th and early 20th centuries. I am pleased to be able to join you on this festive occasion, albeit virtually. That's the way things go, as they say. Uh, but I wish all of you well. I hope you have a very pleasant time celebrating this book. I would like to, right at the outset, thank two Norwegian editors for this edition, because quite frankly, they did the heavy lifting. And it's a tribute to them that the book that came together is one that I'm quite convinced will have an impact on scholarship, particular scholarship on whiteness studies. The particular value, I think, of this collection is that it looks at a group that has not been explored as much as many other groups when it comes to whiteness studies scholarship. And this group is different in some ways because it was, relatively speaking, comparatively speaking, a very privileged group. These were immigrants, except for Finns for a time. These are immigrants who were white on arrival. They were presumed to be, by most native-born Americans, white. And the question is then, how did they respond to that? What did they do with that? One of the things that is quite clear, the book makes this very clear, is that racial categories are always boundary defining. So you can only have someone who is white, you have someone who is not white. And how you cast that, how you frame that, who gets construed as part of one category versus another, and what this means in terms of all sorts of life chances, in terms of exploitation, in terms of stratification. These are the issues that get framed and posed in this collection. Now, before I worked on this book, I completed a book, it was published in 2017, on Donald Trump. The book is called The Trump Phenomenon, and it attempts to explain how it was in 2016 that Donald Trump was elected president of the United States. At first blush, it may appear that these two books are very, very different, but I don't think so. I think that there is a connection. And the connection, I think, can be seen if you think about a passage from William Faulkner that I oftentimes refer to. Faulkner was an American novelist, a Nobel Prize-winning American novelist, who said many years ago, "The past is never dead. In fact, it isn't past." And I think what we need to think about at this moment, this fraught moment in American history, is how it was that earlier racial categorizations continue to have an impact on life today. Many people optimistically thought that we perhaps had gotten past our racial divisions in 2008, the election of Barack Obama, but very clearly a backlash set in, and the consequences of that backlash have been, quite frankly, devastating. Because what's happened is that Donald Trump, who is a white nationalist, a racist, and a sexist, and an ignorant person who's prone to exploring conspiracy theories rather than science and fact and scholarship, he has, in the last 3 years, undermined the guardrails, the institutional guardrails of liberal democracy in the Justice Department, in the military, in all facets of government life. And it has had a major toll on democracy. Democracy is, I don't think I'm being hyperbolic to say that democracy is at risk. And the election in November is an extraordinarily important moment for all Americans. And I think that scholarship, the kind of scholarship that we've produced here, is important because it tells the story that is factually based, that is rationally based, that is empirically based, but it is a story that is not simply descriptive or analytically precise. It's a story with a kind of moral character to it. It tells us about what is and isn't possible. And I think we need scholarship to go forward, but we also need to link that scholarship to partisanship. So I know that between now and November 3rd, I will be putting aside scholarship, and I will be partisan. I will be working to help Donald Trump. Now, this is a festive occasion. This is a celebration of a book that I think is going to get serious attention by scholars in history and the social sciences. And so I want to end on an up note, a positive note, thanking everybody who has contributed to the volume, and thanking all of you who have gathered together in Oslo to celebrate the publication of this. And to that end, I decided that what I should do is, you can see this is a glass. I pulled a bottle of Absolute out of my freezer. This is, some of you can tell, this is a Finnish glassware. And so what I would like to say is, Kippis, skål, cheers. And best wishes to all of you.